Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Last week we went over calculating intraday hybrid scores, and in today's tutorial we're going to be using the results from that script to run an optimization. The output of this optimization will generate what bar we should enter. Since we're using 15-minute bars, we only have 26 bars during a normal session, so it's going to give us a number between 1 through 26 for our entry, along with the number of bars we should hold our positions, along with the total number of stocks we should buy or keep in our portfolio for this trade. The first thing we're going to do is read in the files we created using the script, and we want to make sure that our timestamps are formatted in the correct time zone. So if you're unclear on how we got to this point, check out my previous tutorial where I go over the script to calculate our hybrid scores. And essentially you should have a table similar to this one where we have our symbol, our timestamp, the close price at this timestamp, our tech score, the look back period, our fundamental score, our hybrid score, the number of shares outstanding, and the market cap. So we're going to be using the hybrid score for this optimization. Now back in our script, we're going to create a function called getTradeTable. So essentially we're going to pass in the trade date along with one of the 26 bars we should enter, the number of bars we should hold, and the number of stocks in our portfolio. So it's going to start off by subsetting our hybrid scores table to that specific date and time. We're going to rank the stocks by hybrid score and pick only the select stocks that we pass in. Next, we're going to shorten our data frame to only include the symbol, the date, price, and the hybrid score. Now that we have this information, we're going to extract the symbols and pass them into this lapply, which is going to extract the close price for each of the symbols in this table given the number of hold bars that you pass in. So we're going to assign that information into end data. We're going to combine our results or our entry table and our end data frame. We're going to add the P&L, the number of points, and we're going to add the hypothetical number of shares we would have gotten if we had invested $100 in each of these stocks. And once that's added as a column, we're going to multiply the number of shares with the number of points to get our gross P&L for each of these stocks. And finally, just return that table. Once you have that function, we can extract the unique dates within our hybrid scores table, and we're going to create a sequence of timestamps in 15-minute intervals. So there's going to be 26 bars and times. We also need to include an optimization function, and within this function we're going to pass in all of our dates and pick out a portfolio of stocks by optimizing our entry, the number of hold bars, and the number of stocks. This is going to generate a trading table which we're going to use and convert to an XDS object, and we're going to go ahead and optimize for the best combination that yields the greatest average return over our max drawdown. So alternatively, you can change this to optimize for something different like a Sharpe ratio, but we're going to go ahead and see what the results look like using this combination. If there's some sort of error in the calculation somewhere, it'll just return a 10, which is kind of just a sentinel so that the optimization runs to completion. We also need to include our lower and upper limits for each of the parameters. So for times, we only have 26 bars, so we're going to use 1 through 26 for our entry. I want to hold for less than 26 bars, and for the number of stocks, I chose a limit of 1 stock all the way to 20. For each of these limits, I want to make sure we're using whole numbers. So we have this function that'll guarantee that we always return whole numbers for our limits. And now we can go ahead and run our optimization. We're going to pass in our optimization function, our lower and upper limits. And for the number of iterations in this optimization, I set this to 100. So what this means is that it'll iterate up to 100 times, trying to search for the best combination, returning the best combination at iteration 100. And lastly, we're going to include our FN map, which is our rounding function. Now when you run this optimization, you're going to see each iteration out in the console, and at each step you'll get a printout similar to this one with the result for the optimization, which is the mean over the max drawdown, and it's negative because this function attempts to minimize, so that's why I had it set to negative in line 81. And you'll get a printout of the best values. So in this optimization, it's saying that we should enter at the 6th bar, hold for 1 bar, and hold 11 stocks. So these results will get saved into Optim, and now we can go ahead and extract those values and check the results. So in the next block, we're going to use our optimization values. We're going to assign these into N, and we're going to extract our trade table in line 114 by passing in those values. And we're going to plot the gross P&L had we purchased $100 of each of these stocks and held for 1 bar. So by looking at the plot, we gained about $45 if we had traded this combination. Now in the next plot, I plotted the points. So this represents our P&L if we purchase 1 share of each of those 11 stocks. So the results are a little bit better, and you can go ahead and check the trade log, which is stored in best. So using this combination, it says that we should buy 11 stocks and hold for 1 bar. So if we check lines 1 through 11, we should all have the same timestamp and we should hold for 1 bar. So we buy at 10:45 and exit at 11 each time. So in the next tutorial, I'm either going to show you a different optimization method or we're going to build an algo that'll go ahead and trade this setup. But with that, guys, this concludes the video. I hope this was useful information. I'll leave a link down in the description area to my Patreon where you can find the script. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.